Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? Wherever you might be listening to me, PM, AM, it doesn't matter. What we've got to do today is focus on sports with Jesse. So, what are we going to discuss? Yeah, a bit of transfer update. We're going to look at the top five European leagues, and then we're going to see how it affects, our black players and African players. So, I will be discussing about five transfers that have, looks like it's gone through. We'll be discussing Noni Madueke. We'll be discussing Simon Adingra. We'll be discussing Djeidi Gassama, Nasser Djiga, and Kamaldeen Sulemana. So those are the five athletes we're going to discuss today, and we'll be looking at wider contexts, to their transfers and why we need, to be involved, as sport fans and to look at the pros and cons of what's going on. So, without much further ado, let us go and see. Let's look at the transfer of Madueke because Noni Madueke is moving from Arsenal to Chelsea. So, Arsenal have agreed 52 million fee and personal terms for the 23-year-old Nigerian English winger. He's known for his pace and creative flair. Madueke scored 11 goals and made 5 assists in 46 appearances for Chelsea last season. You know, the this deal is going to be formalized, in the week that we're getting into. But what has happened is that we have had quite a lot of pushback. As you can see, this is Saturday, 12th of July, 2025. This is reported on Sky News. So there's been pushback all through the week. And a section, not all of the Arsenal fans, a section of the Arsenal fan base are resisting, this deal. So why are they doing that? I don't know. I really don't know. So, but yeah, I do think that fans can actually have opinion on what goes on in their club. They might like the transfer of one player over another player. That is how it rolls. That is how it works. But when you go beyond that and you start to slate and you try to harass and you try to bring down a player that's supposed to play, represent your team, that's supposed to put on your jersey and carry the name of your badge and run for you, kick for you. If you keep doing that to a player, I don't think that is good enough. We've even had, reports of alleged racist comments on this move for Madueke. And I don't think that's right. And you know what we do at More Sports? We support all black players, all black athletes, all black sport people anywhere in the world. That is what we do. I don't think it's the problem of Madueke to seek a move away from Chelsea when he knows the Chelsea Football Club has no place for him. If Chelsea is interested in a player, they see a player doing well, doing reasonably well, they're going to sign them. And as a player, you want continuity. You want to be in the England team. This guy's in the England. It's been called up to the England team. So you need to keep playing to be in the team. If you don't play, you don't get in the team. And if Noni Madueke thinks that representing Arsenal will give him regular playing time, then you let him be. That is his choice. He did not force the hands of Arsenal Football Club, Ateta, or Bata, the sporting director, to play him or to ask for him to sign for them. He may not want to leave London. This guy was born in Barnet. It's just less than 3 kilometers from where the Arsenal Football Club is, or 5 kilometers. So why would people be so mean and be so unthinking? And even some of our African, supporters are already joining on the bandwagon of the people slating Noni Madueke. We don't do like that. No matter what you think about him, once the club makes a decision to sign him, then you have to accept that because they are the ones who's running the club. So let's see what uh, someone has said about someone really, uh, good has said about this. So I'm checking the comment section. This is banter. Send in your comments. I'll read them out. Kenny is saying that I'm watching. Thank you for that, mate. I'm honestly surprised too that Arsenal spent a whopping 55 million on such an average player, despite all their needs for a genuine squad upgrade. Yes, that's a valid opinion, but uh, don't let's forget that the club decides what player that they want. Whether we think these guys are up to the task or in the caliber of players that such club, will be needing, it's up to the club. Nobody knows what's going to happen when you sign a football player. When Liverpool signed Salah, Salah was a failure at Chelsea. Chelsea sold him on. He went to Fiorentina. He couldn't cut it there. He was showing only glimpses. So when he was going to be transferred to Liverpool, Klopp didn't want him. Klopp wanted another player in Germany. But thank God the so-called committee had their way. And look at what Salah has gone on to be today. So nobody actually know when you see a young player that is developing. This guy is 23-year-old. 23. Let's think about what all of us were doing when we were 23. So we're not saying Noni Madueke is a Messi or a Maradona. No. But this is a young player that wants to express himself. If he doesn't get game time, he got game time and he was one of the more livelier players for Chelsea FC throughout last season. And they were in the Champions League at the end of it. So that's some kind of measure of success. And if the Arsenal board think that they don't have enough money to go after Rodrigo of Madrid, they're going to sign someone. So I would like to share with you what has been said, has been said by Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand, I will come to the comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yeah. Rio Ferdinand is someone that knows the English players. It's someone that has played for the English national team and he has played in the EPL. And this is what he had to say today. So if you see, this is the official page of Rio Ferdinand. It's got 10 million followers here. And he made this post just 50 minutes ago. And it was on Noni Madueke. This is what he has to say. For a young 23-year-old English footballer to be vilified, bullied, embarrassed, and totally stripped down at a time when you are meant to be celebrating a transfer worth £55 million. Yes, a young kid with a dream about to secure a 55 million dream move to a club of his desire, leaving a rival at that, to be treated in this manner via section of the Arsenal fan base is an utter disgrace. Just put yourself in his shoes for 1 minute. Just put yourself in his parents' shoes for 1 minute and just think of how that feeling must be. I'll say it again. At a time, as a player, as a human, as a family, You should be celebrating. I just hope people that are closest to him are around him and supporting him in the way that he needs right now. It's fine for fans to disagree with signings or decisions made at their football club. But the way some fans have publicly voiced their opinions, and those who have gone a step further in publicly joining a petition for this player not to be signed by their football club, is beyond me. I have never seen anything like this before, and I hope I don't ever again. Like I said earlier, just imagine this was your best friend, one of your family members, your brother or son. Then tell me, how would you feel if they were on the receiving end of this vulgar behavior? By the way, this isn't aimed at all Arsenal fans. It's just a small section that we have become very loud, unfortunately. I just hope the transfer goes through and Noni Madueke rams all of this negativity back down the throats of these imposters. Whatever happens from here, good luck, Noni Madueke. So, this is what I'm saying. Noni Madueke, for us as Africans, we have to be happy for him that he's making it in life, that he's reaching the pinnacle of his career. We shouldn't be joining in all of this, racist, attempt to bring him down, right? So another comment that I've got, say Ademola Lukman is available for 50 million pound. Yes, he is available for 50 million pound, and we do hope the brother gets signed. It's our hope and dream that he gets signed. But look at it this way: we're rooting for all of black players. We're rooting for all of African players. We want them to succeed as well. So if Arsenal have made their decisions, who are we to question what they say or do? What if you're attacking him on the basis that you think it's going to be a failure? But what if it succeeds? What do you have to say then? And guys, football is just a game. It's not life itself. We're not all going to die if Noni does not play as everyone wants him to do. But for God's sake, he's a human being as well. Let us respect his wishes. Let us respect his journey. Let us respect the effort that is put into this. And don't let us bring down one of our own. I think you've listened to um, Rio Ferdinand on that there. So let's move to the next transfer, that concerns the African, players. The Simon Adingra. So if you go to um, our page, if you go to our website, right, you see a story that we did on. We did a story on guys from Ivory Coast, and there's a current story about Asec Mimosas and the stars that went by, and you know there was a story of Simon Adingra and how you know he made it. He was not meant to make it, but he made it. And this guy, in the last 2 years, has been one of the best signings for Brighton and Hove Albion. You can see him in the jersey there of Brighton. And it's been fantastic. I've seen him play against some of the biggest teams, and they went to the Champions League as well. And this guy was one of the standout players. When they don't know what to do. They're at their odds end. This is the guy they put on the pitch, to run that, wing, the left wing, and he's performed really well. So I'm actually surprised at this that Brighton have allowed him to move to Sunderland, who just came back into the Premier League for £21 million. So the Ivory Coast forward, moves for £21 million plus bonuses after limited playing time at Brighton. He's been capped 73 times there. So he's played for them 73 times and was a young player of the tournament at AFCON 2023 in Ivory Coast. So I do think it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic signing for Sunderland. I do hope Sunderland stays up, in the league. So we wish Simon Adingra all the best in his journey at Sunderland. So another player that we're going to look at today is Djeidi Gassama. Djeidi Gassama. So he's also made uh, his journey. It is moved from Sheffield Wednesday to Rangers FC of Glasgow in Scotland. So he was a young starlet at Paris Saint-Germain, and to further his career, he had to move over to Sheffield Wednesday to gain experience. So and now that he's just 21 years old, he was actually Sheffield Wednesday's Player of the Year. So Rangers are going to snap him up in a 2.5 million pound deal. So that is going to be wrapped up in the week that we're getting into. So I do hope that he's one of the players that's going to start the renaissance of Rangers, because they've lost it in the last 3 seasons or so, and they've not been able to win, the league. So they're trying to rebuild, and this guy Djeidi Gassama is going to be one of the players that is going to do that, at St. George's Park. So we wish him all the best in his journey, to Scotland. The fourth player that we're going to look at also moves to Rangers. So Rangers FC of Scotland, they are doing all their best to make sure that they, you know, they compete. They want to really compete against Celtic FC of Glasgow. Both clubs are from Glasgow. They dominate the Scottish League, but in the last 3 years, Celtic have been the one, doing all the heavy lifting. They've won all the cups that needs to be won, and embarrassingly, um, Rangers have been playing second fiddle, and that is not what you actually want to see. So I'm going to play you a video of his unveiling at Rangers FC. So this is gone through, and is already, training, for them. Let's watch the video. So that is the unveiling of, you know, Nasser Djiga. So if you're wondering, Nasser Djiga is a 22-year-old Burkina Faso international, and he's joined Rangers on loan. It was actually acquired by Wolverhampton Wanderers of the EPL just in January. But I guess they're stuck in the area that he plays, so it's moved on loan to Rangers to gain super experience before he comes back to the English Premier League. So Giga brings experience across France, Switzerland, Serbia, and some Champions League exposure. So Rangers are actually putting together a team that can challenge Celtic. So we do hope that with these African brothers, they're able to do that fantastically. So the next player we're going to look at is Kamaldeen Sulemana. He's just moved. Also, is moved from Southampton. Southampton FC, they're called the Saints. They got relegated last season, and they're in the championship. So I think Kamaldeen Sulemana just thought, oh, I need to play Premiership football, whatever in one of the top five leagues. So he's moved to Atalanta. So that is, I think, a good one. So he's going to be joining our brother, the current African Footballer of the Year. He's going to be joining him, in playing at Atlanta. So he sent a thank you message, to the Saints fan. So what has he got to say? This is what he's got to say. Former Saints forward Kamaldeen Sulemana has issued a classy thank you message to the club following his permanent transfer to Atalanta. The 23-year-old joined up with former Saints manager Ivan Juric at the Italian Serie A side in a deal worth around 18 billion last week. Kamaldeen was Southampton's club record signing when they paid 22 million for him in January 2023, going on to make 74 appearances. He scored 4 goals and provided 7 assists, and will now play Champions League football under the Croatian following his transfer. Uh, the Ghana international has issued a message of thanks a full 8 days after his move was confirmed to his old club. So this is what he's got to say. He said, through the highs and lows, Southampton have been a family. So we wish Kamaldeen Sulemana all the best. Our Ghanaian brother I think our Ghanaian brother seems to love playing in Italy. They make Kalidou Koulibaly and all of these guys. They love playing in Italy, and they do fantastically well there. So we do wish him all the best. There's no point playing in the second tier of the English league, when you can be playing Champions League, is it? So I think that is a fantastic move. So the last one that I'm going to be discussing today is kind of like inspirational in a way. I need to look at my phone. So we will be talking about a Mozambican player. Guess who are we talking about? Put the comment down if you know who we're trying to talk about here. So the guy we're talking about is no other than Reinildo Mandava. Reinildo Mandava. So Reinildo is 31 years old, and often we don't get to see, we cannot classify Mozambique as one of the best footballing nations in Africa. So when we do see extra hot talent from countries like Cape Verde, countries like Mozambique, we do feel that, yeah, they're exceptional in a way, and this guy's been exceptional. So is the first Mozambican to win the Ligue 1 title in France. He won it with Lille, of France, and is the first Mozambican to play for Madrid, Atletico Madrid. And now he is going to be the first ever Mozambican to play in the Premier League. So let's go. That's why I chose this timeline, on Wikipedia. Let's just look at the timeline, because the timeline tells us a story of, his life and what he's been doing. So he was born on 21st of January in Beira, Mozambique. 2015, he signed for Portuguese club Benfica. They speak uh, Portuguese in Angola and Mozambique. And of course, naturally, their players go off to Portugal, to play their professional football. And that was in 2015. Just in 2015, he signed for Benfica. Then he went on loan to Sporting Covija for 1 season in June. In 2018, he moved to Belenenses. In 2019, he joined French club Lille on loan, and in January, and then did a permanent transfer on the 31st of May. in 2019. 2 years into the journey, he won the Ligue 1 and trophy the champions with Lille. So that is the highlight of his career. Winning all of that with Lille is something, and we all knew that Lille team that they played for was full of flair and they were fearless. In that Champions League, of that 2021, they actually got to the quarterfinals, I think. They had this blistering pace when they are doing the changeover to attack. The transitions are really, really good. And in 2022, it caught the eye of Atletico Madrid and signed a 3.5 year contract, with them. So in 2023, it was named UNFP Ligue 1 Team of the Year. And in 2024, it scored international goals against Lesotho and Ghana in January. So now, like I said to you, this man has made history for himself and for his country. Let me reiterate, he is the first Mozambican to win the Ligue 1 title in France. He is the first Mozambican to play for Atletico Madrid. And now he is the first ever Mozambican ever to play in the Premier League. And he's going to do that with Sunderland FC that has just been promoted back into, the league. So that is a roundup of, all the transfers that we've had that's featured Black and African players or African players in the top 5 European leagues. So I have to recap. I do think that as Africans, yes, as Black people, yes, we're free to support any club that we deem fit that we want to support. That comes with the territory that you may like a player or you may not like a player. Yeah, it is what it is. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on under the hood. So that they got Noni Madueke is not a sin. If at the end of the day they've put the money on the table and it's put pen to paper and a contract has been exchanged, then there's nothing you can do. So why do we need to slate our brother? Why do we need, to shout, to wish him ill luck? That's not what we're about. That's not what we should do. We should wish him success. It's not the birthright of Arsenal to win the league and win the Champions League. They had their chance to win it. Even when they got the kind of players that you thought they should, did they win it? So a lot of people are not familiar with the economics that runs clubs. When Arsenal was buying Kai Havertz for 80 something million, when they were splashing money on Jesus, when they were splashing money here and there, understand me, they have a limit. And you wanted them to get Rodrigo. Rodrigo is not going to come cheap. When you're spending 100 million on Rice, that's a lot of money. So, France, you understand the type of owners that they've got. You've not got the Sheikh Sugar Daddy that has endless pockets that they can dip hands into, like in Manchester City. Even Liverpool fans have had to endure. There was no signing last season, just one signing. And over the years as well, one has to go and be replaced by another. Robertson came from relegated Hull for £7.8 million. Look at what he went on to become. So we shouldn't be playing God because we're supporters. Yeah, we need to have an opinion and be free with it, but don't let it go beyond that. Don't let it sway into where you're actually bullying people. It's not nice. So The Premiership is coming back. The top five European league, they're coming back. You know, a lot of these teams are going playing their returning to base, and they'll be playing their friendlies and preparing, you know, for the August start to the league seasons in Europe. So we're gonna enjoy it. But you know, let's follow the game. We'll follow the sports, but we'll follow the sports from the lens of how good our brothers are doing. So I do hope that you have a fantastic weekend ahead of you. So I see you on another one. So enjoy your day.